Hey, Outdoor Enthusiast 88 here again, and this is the Stinger Pistol Crossbow by Firefield. Let's take a closer look. So let's take a look at how this pistol crossbow comes in the box. EDC is still the Kershaw Dividend. This thing has been running great. I have not had to sharpen it yet. It's got some nice wear on it. I've been running it for about a year now, and I love it. Haven't had a need to really replace it yet. I did a review on this, link below to buy. Really nice. So let's see here. The reason why I have the knife out is because this is wrapped in your typical fashion with plastic, styrofoam, the usual. So go ahead, slice her open, turn her around. A little manual here. Let's see, it might be worth reading up on. Talking about operation. Should be, yep. Talking about assembly. So we'll be needing that. All right. Let's see what comes in this thing here. So you got 3 aluminum body bolts. They actually don't feel too bad. They got some nice points to them. You know, decent quality for what they are, and as cheap as this is. Here's your string. It's like a bunch of little pieces, maybe some shims in there as well. Got your bow piece. This is made of metal, it feels like. It's funny, it almost feels like a brake pad that you'd find on your car. Pretty rough to the touch. It looks decent quality though. Alright. And the crossbow pistol itself. Have never shot this before, or even used one of these particular, so should be a good learning experience for all of us. But for the price, I think this will be a lot of fun. Alright, step 1, insert bow. The shims I was mentioning earlier, that were little rubber pieces that look like shims, actually go in front of this piece in between the set screw and the bow itself. You see there's a hex screw in there, comes to the back. They put nice little lines there to kind of even it out, and then you take your little rubberized pieces, and it did say several, so I'm assuming they want to use all of them, and you're actually going to insert them in between there. Then take your set screw, which is right here, one end down like this, the other end is the hex. Try to line it up as best you can. And then just crank it down. Said just be careful not to over tighten, but you will need to tighten it down for a fair amount. That's why they gave you these rubberized pieces to help get the pressure off this metal piece here. But just kind of go ahead, crank it down. And I missed a piece. This little triangle piece actually slides behind here. There's a little groove right there, you can see. See the little triangle portion. So go ahead and slide that in first. That's what you get for cheap instructions, right? Slide that in first. Then go ahead, line up everything, put your little rubberized pieces back in. Little spacers there. Try to get it lined as best you can. Probably not going to be perfect, but we'll do what we can. It really doesn't have to go down too far in terms of the crank piece here, but what I'm doing is I'm actually pushing down while keeping them lined up. That way I'm going to try to make sure this bow piece is actually straight. Take a look. Yeah, a little nub there sticking out, too bad. I mean, it looks pretty good. You can kind of play around with it before tightening it up. Just try to make it as even as possible and get those white lines to line up with the bow itself. All right, next step, put these plastic prod covers nice and tight on each end. Really kind of push it down. There's one. It's two, nice and tight. See that? And then to actually put the string on, so start with the left side. Let's go ahead. If you've ever strung a bow before, this is very similar to that. Definitely tight on the end here though. There you go, there's one. Kind of make it less twisted if you can. And let's see how hard it's going to be. Might have to take it off camera, but the point is actually going to push it probably against the floor, honestly. Push this down and try to bend these back far enough where you can go ahead and get this end on, and I'll show you what it looks like. So that was a little more difficult than I thought it would be. You actually do need another set of hands on this. You need about 3 hands total to actually get this done. It's a little more difficult than a regular recurve bow where you can normally just push it against the ground, do it yourself. This one actually I grabbed some gloves. What you do is you put one hand down here, one hand right here, and you push straight down, all while not touching this because this is made of plastic, and also making sure these both bend back the correct way at the same time. And then I had the wife go in as I was pushing this down, stringing this up like that. So you can see it strung up really nice. No problems there. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think it's having any issues there. So let's go and test her out. So we like to find a lot of cool toys to play in the backyard with. Usually it's like throwing knives, hatchets, tomahawks. I mean, just kind of goofing off. BB guns. You've seen the Umarex Legends P08 Luger replica. We have a lot of fun with that out here. I still have the can strung up here, which is pretty nice. But you know, I was looking on Amazon, and actually I saw this for sale. It was like 20 bucks. I think it's like $21 right now on Amazon. And I was like, kind of curious, because I mean, I just wanted it, just kind of a goofy thing to play with, and I knew it wasn't high quality. I mean, Firefield is like a brand that no one's ever heard of. I mean, it's going to be kind of some cheap Chinese knockoff pistol crossbow, and I'm actually very surprised at how well it's handled. I've shot about 3 dozen bolts through this so far, and the only part I've seen, there's 2 negatives. All right, the first part is this plastic piece started to chip away. I don't know if you guys can see that. That chip there. So that plastic piece started to chip away. I don't really know if that's going to affect anything. I mean, it seems to be holding up just fine with that being a problem. The bolts, I still have all 3. Made a homemade target out there out of foam and cardboard and duct tape just to kind of make sure I catch these before it goes to the back end here, where it might rip these rubber pieces off here. So held up really good. The other problem is it seems to be shooting to the right no matter what I do to this adjustment. I got the elevation right, which is pretty nice. It has a little screw set here to go up and down with nice little clicks. Pretty basic stuff. Same right here, left and right drift sight. But no matter what, it seems to be hitting to the right either way. But either way, let me show you guys. So how do you load it? So you actually have a, take a bolt, just one. Put the other ones to the side. All right, take one bolt. What you're gonna do, there's a piece right here, hold right here. There's a button right here, push that. See how that worked right there? Go all the way back until it clicks. Click it back forward. Automatically put on safe. There's a safety right here. Forward is fire, back is safe. Nice click. Go ahead, take your bolt. And go ahead, put it on there, push it all the way back until you see the end. Hit the back right there. It's on safe. And what you're gonna do, put it off safe, pushes forward, goes forward, you're good to go. Part of the reason why I think it's hitting to the right is the fact that this trigger is definitely not really a Geisley trigger. It seems to have a lot of play in it. It's definitely just a piece of plastic that connects to the releaso back here, so it's really nothing fancy. But it is what it is for 20 bucks, and it actually shoots pretty well. Go ahead, load up 2 more real quick. I'll show you guys. Pretty quick reload, I have to say. Careful not to put your fingers in the path of that string. Just like any crossbow, be careful there. Even shooting to the right, it's about 6 inches to the left, so I kind of have to just adjust that a little bit. But you can see you can hit just fine, and we're about probably maybe 10-15 yards away. So far, so good. So you can see at about 10-15 yards, you can hit pretty good, pretty much hit whatever you're aiming at. Still, you can see it kind of hits to the right. And again, I don't really know if it's a trigger, if it's maybe this groove here is messed up. But, I mean, even with that, hitting to the right is probably only about 6 inches to the right. And it's something where you could actually adjust for it, which is nice. So it works pretty good. These bolts thicken pretty good, but they seem to last. I also put a link below where I did find some spare bolts, so you guys can pick up a pack of like 20 or whatever it ends up being. So you have a bunch of these in case you lose them, but they seem to work pretty well. So that's it, guys. This thing has worked really well. I think it's an excellent option for maybe someone just getting into the shooting sports for crossbows. It's just not really great for hunting due to the accuracy issues, but I mean, it slings those bolts pretty fast, so it's definitely not exactly a toy. Definitely something for a little bit of an older kid to kind of pick up and learn to shoot a crossbow, and it's just a real fun backyard plinker. Always wear eye protection when doing this, especially something like this or BB guns or anything like that where there's a chance something could ricochet. It's just not worth the risk. But other than that, guys, I think this is a great buy. Links below on where to buy this. It's off Amazon. Everything's off Amazon. Same with the reloaded bolts. I put that below, as well as that Kershaw dividend you saw earlier. And hey, subscribe to the channel. Help us me out. Like this video. Let me know if you have any questions below, and I'll see you in the next review.